Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you're reaching us from. My name is Anthony Njenga from Business Debut. We're excited today. We have a guest, and her name is Caroline Ngina. She's a founder and managing director of Miss Clean. Welcome, Caroline.
Thank you so much, Anthony.
Great. So tell us, where did you get this idea of starting a cleaning business?
Thank you so much, Anthony. I really appreciate for the opportunity to be speaking to you and to many people that will be listening to this. My name is Caroline Ngina. I am an entrepreneur, I'm a mentor, and a business person altogether. And I run a cleaning company called Miss Clean, where we specialize in professional cleaning services, both domestic and commercial. You asked me where I started, or rather how I started Miss Clean. So this all started when I cleared high school. We didn't have enough money to go to college, and that made me want to just find something to do like every other young girl or young child after school. And I went to volunteer in an NGO that's called St. John's Community Center. Within that NGO, I was able to volunteer, and I was lucky to get someone to sponsor my classes, and I went to do a business course. But way back before then, in between, as I was doing volunteer work, I needed to take care of myself, so I needed some finances to just move me around and take care of myself. And that's how I landed into cleaning. I started doing cleaning myself. I was Mama Fua. That person you call to come a day back, in short, how we call them during the day. Every day. So I used to go to a home in Hurlingham and another home in Nairobi West. I guess for people who understand Nairobi very well, I'll clean 2 days in a week, and I'll be able to get some money to take me through the month. And actually, just to mention, I had also started living on my own, so I needed to pay rent and many other things that I needed to do. So fast forward, when I got an opportunity to go to school, I'd already started internalizing how I could actually make that the day bag job and the cleaning job I could monetize it into something big and to commercialize it. And that's how I decided, let me do a business course so that I can see me and business, how that would go together. And yes, by the time I was finishing my last term to do my research paper, I figured out what was important was to do a business plan. And that's how I landed into doing a business plan in cleaning. Why did I do a business plan in cleaning? It's because when I was doing this cleaning, I realized that was a gap in the market, that most people who are employed and are busy are looking for convenience. People can come and clean their houses, and some of the things they look for is someone who can do a good job, that is quality service, honesty, and also convenience, of course, at their homes. And yes, that's how I landed into cleaning.
Interesting. You actually started washing clothes.
I started by washing clothes.
This whole beautiful girl.
Oh, look at me.
I know, girls will say, I'm in school, I've left campus, I can't start washing clothes. How did that play? What led you to start washing clothes with all this beauty?
One thing I would say is that I grew up from a very humble from a very humble home. Not really poor, but I would say humble. And I was taught well. I grew up with my grandmother, and she taught me hard work. That's something I'd already done. Initially, actually, I would mention that I was doing business when I was growing up. I was doing chicken. I was dreading chicken, and in high school, I was also buying some innerwears from the famous Gikomba market. I would wash them, iron, and when I go back to high school, I'll sell to my fellow students. So it's something, actually business was in me as a person when I was growing up. And of course I was taught well in terms of just not choosing what I want to do, but most of the times to just focus on the goal. So as a girl, of course, I had all the options, either to go through sponsor way, that is to get a man to take care of me, or either to work hard and see me through the goals that I wanted to achieve. But I have an innate I have a very big passion within myself to support others and to help others grow. So for me, that's a big goal that cannot be achieved by doing corners. And yes, I was willing to go all the way and start small to grow.
Okay, so why cleaning? I know there's something you've told me before about you and school where you said you were clean. Just tell me that story.
Yeah, well, as I said, I grew up with my grandmother. She was a clean freak. Let me tell you. To date, my life, my business, and everything around me revolves around cleanliness. Every time I walk into a room, I notice I can smell that, I can smell dust, because this grandmother, what she did herself in her nature, she was a clean freak. So I don't know if that is normally transferred. Then I would say it was transferred to me. So I learned from a very humble beginning to just stay clean and neat, and that's how in primary school I continuously kept on winning that slot when kids were being recognized, winning that slot for being the most cleanest girl in school, and not just clean in terms of clothes, clean in terms of clothes and how I keep myself, and also clean in terms of my books and my work and how I arrange my work, covering them nicely. So just say an organized and a clean girl. That's what I grew up being. So yes, doing Miss Clean and doing cleaning today, it's just part of me who and how I grew up.
Wow, it's amazing. So some things you do in school can translate to be something big. Because right now you're running a very big business. So tell me, what are the lessons you've learned along the way when you're running your business?
Quite a number of lessons. One of them, of course, is you make money, you feel good, you enjoy.
Yes. Yes.
Yes, so I've made money, of course, through cleaning. So sometimes people ask me, biashara iko na pesa? I say, yeah, iko na pesa. But of course, there are disclaimers here and there. I've learned, I don't know whether to say the lessons.
The lessons, yeah, whichever way.
Just general lessons. Yes, of course, one thing I said is that you make money. Number two is that you learn how to be disciplined. If you are discipline issues, I'm a natural disciplined person, a very disciplined person. I know you know that. Yeah. But you learn how to even become more disciplined, because now you have a higher responsibility. That is your staff, your suppliers, your clients. In short, the stakes are too high. The people that are watching and looking up to you are very many. So you cannot afford just to live a reckless life or a simple life that has no organization. You really have to organize yourself. Be organized in terms of discipline, in terms of how to take your money, discipline in terms of how to deal with your staff and how to talk to them nicely, discipline in terms of how to handle clients, discipline on how to handle pressure, especially at work, mistakes, complaints, and all that. So it's an all-rounded thing. So you become a natural leader when you get into business. I don't know, it's number 3. Mm-hmm. You also learn how to who to hang out with and where to be and how to actually work on your time management generally. Wow. Mm-hmm. Because if you waste time, end month comes with bills. You see, when you're employed, salary will be coming whether you work or you do not work, or you can actually fake sickness. In business, you don't fake nothing. Even when you're sick, you drag yourself to work because all responsibility is pegged on you. Mm-hmm. So yes, time management becomes very key and very important for you. And of course, it's the same thing that you keep teaching your employees and your staff on how to just keep time so that you can save time and maximize on what you're doing at your workplace. Another thing I've also learned is that you also become a very important person in the society. You get to be consulted by so many people. There are people around you who are looking up to you. And whether you fail or you succeed, there is a lot you've learned. You're wiser. When you're in business, you're wiser than when you are not.
Okay.
And yeah.
Okay, good. One of the things I know about business is that we have a lot of challenges. And I'd like to know, just because it's not always rosy, you have issues. So what are some of the challenges you face in your industry? Or even you as a person, maybe you can say that's one thing that you felt, well, maybe I will not wake up today because it's been so hard. Just share with us so that somebody out there will know business sometimes can be hard.
It's not sometimes. It's enough of the times. You just get a glimpse. It's like business na kuonjeshaga tu kautamu kidogo here and there,
Yes.
So there are many challenges, but the good thing is that the feeling that comes with the successes and the things that you watch. For example, actually one of the things that motivates me a lot is when I watch my staff and get to know that school fees has been paid for some kids. Wow. Rent has been paid, so they have at least a roof on top of their head. They're dressing well and they're eating. That gives me so much. So much inspiration and motivation, because I know, regardless of what I go through, at least I'm sacrificing on behalf of someone, and someone is happy, and someone is a smile on someone's face. So the challenges are there, but yes, the good thing and the good side outweighs a lot of those challenges. So I'll just mention a few of the challenges. One of them is staffing. When people come looking for jobs, they tell you how they can actually package, wind and just sell it, But when it gets to real jobs, most of the times they keep failing you. So staffing, that is getting the right people on the right team to work with, because you could be having a very great vision and you wishing and you invest and put a lot of money, but your staff could easily fail you if they don't catch the vision and move it to the next level or where you want with the speed that you want. Number two challenge is finances, and that has been a challenge for so many years. As I mentioned, I was really pretty like a young girl when I was starting, because my business is 12 years old. When I started, I was in my early 20s, and That time I didn't have any money, and the employment that I was in, I was being paid 6,000 shillings. So clearly, no one could give me money to start that business. I actually tried, and no bank. They actually don't listen to young people,
Yes.
and they don't even want to even hear you because they think you're just dreaming big and you're being ambitious. So no one funds ideas, even to date, even if you're not young. So the challenge of capital has been a big deal. And what I've learned, or rather what I've done with mine, is that I've allowed myself to grow organically. So I started saving even my 20 shillings. I told you we started by cleaning people's homes. Would be paid only like 1,000 bob. And this 1,000 bob will share, and I make sure that I save, even if it was 100 bob. That's how I grew my account. And after 6 months to 8 months, I was able to get now my first loan from a bank.
Wow.
So it's true you find a challenge, but you have to be determined to find a solution out of that challenge. Otherwise, there is no business without challenge.
Okay. So one, you said staffing. Two is cash flow. Any
flow.
other?
Yeah, as a girl, maybe I should mention this for the sake of girls. As a girl, the first thing when you show up looking for business, or when you're out there and you're looking to get business, the first thing people see is how you're beautiful, how they can get a lot from you, how they can gain from you. You don't even look like you're coming here for business. They have ideas, but I mean, you have to put your point across. You can actually use it for your good, because beauty actually gives you a voice. So you are able to actually speak, and then now you can turn around the situation and put your cards first before you.
How do you manage that?
How you manage that is just getting to know, focusing. You can't mix the two. Can you imagine the last 12 years if I decided to sleep around to get business? How much can I do of that? Yes.
12
so
years
I'm not able to do. So you just at the back of your mind, you have your principles and you're willing to drop. And I've actually walked out of a contract or out of a business opportunity just because it was going against my principles. And my principle is you don't pay for business. You just present your papers, you're qualified, and yes, you just get what you deserve.
Wow. Okay, interesting. I think we're learning, especially the young girls out there. There's nothing you can do, but also be careful, be disciplined. Tell me about your marketing strategy. How do you market your business, and how do you get business?
Okay. I think that's where my strength is. You know, as a business person, there's so many things you have to do, or many shoes you have to wear as a business person. First, you wear a business of being the director and the owner. You wear a business of being an accountant. You are the messenger, especially when you're starting. You're the HR, everything. You're like everything in the business. But there's, of course, that one thing that is your strength. And my strength is marketing. I talk. I mean, I can just present. I mean, I can sell everything. But sometimes when it comes to business, you have to have proper strategy. So one of the things that I have done is to network. Be very well networked. And networks comes at a fee, at a cost. One of the costs is time. Another cost is consistency in terms of following up your networks. Third time is also investing money. You have to look for strategic networks that relate to your market and be willing to go all the way and give your best. Networking is more relational than transactional. You don't just meet someone today and you think tomorrow they'll give you business. You have to be willing to give, or even ask them, or show concern about their lives and the things that are happening in their lives, so that by the virtue of you giving to them, then they are able to think about you, or you're able to pass your point across in terms of what you need. Number 2 way of marketing is social media.
Yes, I was going to ask you. Yes.
Yeah. When we started Miss Clean 12 years ago, social media was not a place you'd get business from. But today, it's like, I don't know the percentages, but I know social media has been translating big time. However, as a business person, you have to understand exactly which market you're targeting and who comes through social media. For example, I'll tell you, my business is broken down into two ways. We have the commercial side where we clean offices and buildings and commercial spaces, and the domestic part. For me, I translate more on the domestic part through social media than I translate the other commercial. So the other commercial is where I do now more of networking. That is my presence and getting to know people and meeting new people and asking for contacts for key people in different industries. So you have to understand your business and understand what works for you, so that you don't waste a lot of money and time also in something that does not translate well into your own business.
That's very interesting. So you do the B2B through networking, and then if it's social media, it's retail customers.
Yes, and another way, referrals.
Okay.
Of existing clients. You can actually translate you can sell to an existing client or an existing client can actually easily refer you than a new person who doesn't know you. So if you do a good job, for me, if you call me, even if you're calling me for a job that is worth 1,000 bob today, I'm very excited, and I even serve you as if you're paying me 100,000 shillings, because I know the fact that you're able to trust me and buy from me, there is a possibility that you buy another day and you can tell someone else another day. So one to one, and referrals and repeat customers.
Wow, that's amazing. Okay, so what's your growth strategy? Where do we want to see Miss Clean?
Miss Clean,
Yes.
It's the next big thing in town. I'm looking forward to be the biggest employer. Why? Because I want to change lives. I want to be part of the people that are changing, the narrative about Africa and about Kenya and how the struggles that we've been going through. So for me, the bigger goal is to employ more. So what we are working on now, we've been doing commercial cleaning and domestic cleaning, but we started slowly last year, and now it's something that we're implementing currently. We are adding on detergents, that is manufacturing of detergents. So I'm getting into manufacturing, that is detergents for both home use and commercial use, and I know that will pick up really big time because it's something that's already in need. Actually, after the pandemic, right now everyone is very health conscious, hygiene conscious, and yes, it's easy now to be able to advise people what to use, when and where, to cut on costs of the things that they buy off the shelf, the detergents that they buy off the shelf. That's one of the things. The other thing we're working on is we've been doing carpets and rags and all those things that we pick from clients and curtains. We've been outsourcing we've been outsourcing or subcontracting other people to do it. But now we are in a bigger space where we're able now to consolidate all those things together and do them together on our own, so that we can now add on our, core offerings, and that means, of course, employing more people. And yes, the cleaning business has no limit in terms of growth. The market is growing. We're seeing so many buildings coming up. Many businesses are coming up. I like how young people are really becoming more aggressive in terms of opening up new businesses. And yes, we'll keep aggressively marketing for that, so that we can get a bigger market share in terms of cleaning.
If you're talking to a young man or a young lady out there, advise them on how to start a business. Talk to them.
Young people out there, let me tell you, no one should ever call you young. You're just young by years. But your brain is a grown-up's brain. What you can do is anything that you feel that you can do. If you have a passion, you have a talent, or something that you've been thinking about, one of the things that you need to do is don't think of doing it on your own to surprise people. You may end up failing. What you do is get a mentor or someone who is in the same industry, or someone older than you who is more expert than you, and just share with them your idea. Sharing with them your idea, it helps them tell you what you might not be able to see because of your age and because of the exposure they're able to know and see. Sometimes you feel when we are sharing our ideas, it's like people steal ideas. There's nothing called stealing ideas. Ideas can be developed, and if it can be stolen, then it wasn't an idea. And no one has monopoly of ideas. Ideas can be generated any day, anytime by anyone. So don't be afraid of sharing your ideas with other people, and also getting strategic partnership to be able to implement your ideas. But go for it. You can start small, and don't and be willing to go through the process, and don't be afraid of mistakes. They make part of who we are.
Wow. Thank you very much. That's amazing. I hope we've all been challenged, and that we look forward to seeing people coming out and doing great things like what Miss Clean is doing. Thank you so much for being here and sharing with us your knowledge and the things that you've been able to learn. This is business debut. Anthony Njoroge Jenga, your host, and we're excited today. I hope you've learned. You can write to us through Wema TV, anything you want to learn about business, and we're here to make sure that you grow. Once again, Wema TV, the voice of hope.
Wema TV, the voice of hope.